Well, hello, and today we're talking about Disney Cruise, and we're really excited about today's video because we're talking about things that might be underrated on the Disney Cruise. We just came out with a video that was like top, 15 things that you need to do on a Disney Cruise. Yeah. So those are some big ones like funnel vision, things like that. But now we're kind of getting, detailed a little bit about some things that we believe are pretty underrated that don't get talked a lot about. So let's talk about it today.
Also, we asked you guys over on our Instagram, if you don't follow us on there, it is at our Z Roll. What are some things that are underrated, that you guys think are underrated on the Disney Cruise Line? And you guys shared those as well. So at the end, we're going to be sharing all of those.
So here we go. The first one is fireworks on the veranda. I just realized with our top 15 video, which we'll link below, that should have been one of the tops, is fireworks. Just fireworks on deck.
Watching the fireworks, like that's huge.
That's huge. Anyway, so we'll add that one. There's a bonus for this one. But an underrated one is watching the fireworks on your veranda.
Right. So obviously, you have to have a veranda to do this. So it's a little
Or
niche.
you can just knock on someone's door and be like, hey, what's up?
Can I watch fireworks out here with you guys? You're in your jammies. You got your soda.
and you can try.
I mean, you make friends on the cruises.
Yeah,
so
totally.
Just find somebody that's a veranda.
Now, usually on the cruise, you have one shot to watch fireworks. And so I would say the better viewing is out on deck. Yeah. However, there are some times when we're just so tired, especially with kids. But even if it was just us cruising, it's so cozy.
It's really cool.
You're by yourself. And if you just need some time just to like chill out, it is special. I would definitely recommend trying it out.
Well, and just seeing the reflection of the lights from the fireworks on the water, because you're a lot closer to it when you're out on a veranda than up on deck.
Right.
It's
so cool.
Really fascinating.
Absolutely.
It's so fun. So I like toy between it because I'm like, do I want to just go to the veranda and sit down and watch it?
Just like run upstairs and then run back down to the stateroom.
If you're close, I mean, why
not?
We
were like
pretty
right
close
underneath so
yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, the next thing is the early mornings, just walking around the ship. Okay, this can be inside and out because I think it's beautiful both ways, and I've done both ways.
Deck 4, walking,
Honestly, I don't know if I've ever shared the story with you, but one time I got up really early. I think I did the gym, and then I just walked to the front of the ship outside.
Yeah, you said it was your best day, your favorite day.
But I didn't tell you about this part. I honestly cried. Like, I had my AirPods in, I was listening to music. I'm like, this is so cool. Like, it was really very emotional because it just felt like so personal. It was so beautiful. Like you couldn't see anything. It was just besides the ocean and with the sun rising. It was one of my favorite moments. Absolutely love it.
Think about this. You're in the Disney parks. The best time in the Disney parks is in the morning and at night.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with the cruise. But there's something about waking up when no one's around.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite memories is that. Remember I talk about that all the time. Yeah. I woke up so early. It was like 4 a.m. And I almost forgot where I was at. Like it was one of those days you wake up, and it was when we were in an inside stateroom, so it was like pitch black.
Right.
Woke up, went outside, and just kind of like waltzed around, and I'm like, this is so amazing. But also, the next one we're going to talk about is in the evening.
Right.
And so these are underrated, but I would say try to make a point on your next cruise to wake up super early and just walk around, go to the gym, go to deck 4, go up on deck, whatever.
Right.
Or
walk around in the, atrium where it's just like usually a busy place.
The Grand Hall, just
quiet.
If you like to take photos, perfect time to do that. Video, all that kind of stuff. But also at night, it's a whole different thing at night.
Right.
When everyone's in bed.
Like late night.
Late night. We're talking about like when Pinocchio's Pizza's closed, which is around is it midnight or 2?
I think midnight.
Maybe probably midnight.
Like Funnel Vision's done showing movies
so
like
it's
that late.
That late.
Yeah.
And especially going out up on deck and just, seeing the ocean, the breeze, all that, that's crazy. But just walking around like the Great Hall, just walking around. It's crazy because during the day the ship is packed, but then it's like no one's around.
Right. And we were talking about this earlier when we were compiling our list. And I love this one because it's almost, if you like going to the parks, it's almost like you're in the parks when it's closed and you're like, am I allowed to be out here?
Right.
It's this really cool feeling.
Yep.
Because it's not like go to your room. It's not like camp. It's midnight, You can be out, but it just feels like you shouldn't.
It's nuts.
It's really cool.
Okay, here's another tip for you. Go see a late night movie, like one that starts, I don't know, around like 10 or something like that. And then when it's over, then just walk back to your stateroom, but it's gonna be that vibe.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Coming out from a movie to that. That's cool too.
Yeah.
That's not an underrated one. Have you done that before?
On my list. I have not.
Because it's usually too late for Lacey. But
I'm
sometimes
more the morning person.
That's like what I do in the evenings. I like to kind of like, I like to stay up later.
Yeah.
And that's a really fun activity to do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for this. Okay, so when we were brainstorming about all these underrated things on the Disney cruise, there was one that I'm like, you know what? It gets talked about, but I'm like,
not enough.
Doesn't get talked about, And that is chocolates on your bed.
Mm-hmm.
You get in from, all your evening activities or after dinner, whatever,
after
and
a show.
there's just chocolates for you.
Right.
They're just there.
Probably one of the number one things I miss when you come back home, and I'm like, there's no chocolate on my bed.
Yeah.
It's such a cool thing. I mean, we can also include in here the cool towel animals with it because that's always fun as well to see. But yeah, there's just nothing like it.
But I feel like towel animals aren't underrated.
No.
Like, I feel like everyone talks about towel animals.
I mean, they've made like, where is it? Yeah, we've got a stuffy of one up there of the towel animal we got on our last cruise. Your head's blocking it now.
Oh, there it
is.
It's so weird on the camera. No, that was from Bryson and Crystal.
Yeah.
From the channel For Love of the Mouse. Go check them out.
Yes. So, towel animals are not overrated. The chocolate doesn't get talked about enough.
And it needs to.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, but when do you get chocolate on your bed? Like, not like chocolate, like just like pieces.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
When you have kids, it's probably all the time. Right?
So this next one, I don't think a lot of people may know, and not a lot of people do it, but
in the parks they do.
In the parks they do. And it's very big in the parks, but that is getting like a celebration button. That's the best. So, you're celebrating your birthday, anniversary, whatever it is, you can ask them for those buttons. And I think it is so fun because the people that work on the ship, they are very good about seeing it and telling you happy birthday or congratulations,
if you're celebrating your
whatever.
birthday on a Disney cruise, take advantage of that.
Seriously,
but
it's so fun.
You can get them at the terminal before you get on, and you can also ask customer service. And also when you're planning your cruise, you can actually mention that it is your anniversary or celebrating something, so that way they know. And so at dinner, they'll even bring you like a little it's not
birthday
like
cake.
You need
they'll
more
sing
food.
to you.
It's not like you need more food.
Yeah.
But it is cool that they acknowledge that it's your birthday at least.
Yeah. Funny story. We had a cruise booked, and then when COVID happened, it got pushed out quite some time.
Yeah.
But during the time we were going to go, it was going to be during our anniversary. So I mentioned that in the little area where you can say if you're celebrating anything. But by the time we got on the cruise, it was way past our anniversary.
For some reason that transferred or something. I don't know.
It did. And so at dinner, they brought us a happy anniversary cake.
Our friends were just making fun of us. Because it was that, and the next day was a birthday.
But then in our room too, they even had a flower heart on our bed. I'm just like, this is nice, but I forgot.
Our friends are making fun of us because they're like, it's your anniversary, really? It's like.
So anyway. That was cool though.
But I think that is underrated, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now this next one we haven't done before, but I think I'm going to make a point to try to book it on our Disney Treasure Cruise, and that is a walking tour.
Yes.
I think that is so. I'm so into tours.
We love behind the scenes,
all that kind of stuff,
yes.
And so being able to go around the ship, especially the Treasure, if they're doing it, we'll have to see. We'll let you guys know. But we are going on the Treasure coming up the 1st of next year. So look forward for those videos, and hopefully we can book that. But we'll let you know if we do book it. But I think those are underrated, though.
Yeah.
Those tours.
Any of you guys, have you done the tours? Let us know below. Is it worth it?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like yes is the answer, but I'd like to know.
I think when it's a longer cruise, it's totally worth it.
Right.
When it's a shorter, maybe not, but I don't know. Let us know.
So this one I think is so underrated, but honestly, one of my favorite things about cruising is not having service. Yeah. I love knowing and feeling like nobody can reach me. That feels so good on vacation. I'm very introverted, so maybe I'm weird, but I know you can buy packages to get internet and whatnot. But for me, I just love the feeling of just completely disconnecting, and it's so freeing. I love knowing all I'm going to do on my phone is look at the Disney Cruise Line app for this next week. That's it. Nobody else is going to talk to me.
I know I wrestle with this because I do like, because we're vloggers and we have a channel and our Instagram, and we try to keep posting things on Instagram. And so I struggle with this because I like to be able to keep you guys informed of what's going on, but also I love having my phone shut off. And so there's a balance I have. So I do get the Wi-Fi package, but I think there's only certain times, maybe if we're at port or something, or a couple of times I'll just kind of keep updated and kind of do a dump or something, a photo dump. But I don't know, because I love that too. There's something about it when it's like you're leaving and your phone goes off, and it's like, sorry,
I'm
no one
out
can
in the
reach
middle of
us.
the ocean, so I can't come.
Now, this may not be underrated for some, but for some reason, I think it just doesn't get talked about enough, and that is the Rainforest room. Now, depending on the length of your cruise and all of that, but I whenever I get the Rainforest pass, I enjoy it so much. I'm definitely getting it on the Treasure. I'm looking forward to it. And if you don't know what it is, it's just kind of like an area where there's like hot tubs. There's, especially on the Treasure and the Wish, there's hot tubs. There's
heated lounge beds, saunas.
It's just a place to relax.
Yeah, and in the past when we've done it, it's nice because you can just buy a day pass and you can go in and out as much as you want. So it's not a thing where you have to go, this is your time. So that's what we really like about it,
I'm not sure exactly what the cost is now and how it works. If you do know, let us know down below. We will be finding that out here pretty soon. But I don't know. I don't think it gets talked about enough. And it's awesome. I mean, you're cruising, you're relaxing. And so taking this to a whole different level of relaxation, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Especially when your phone's off.
Right. And it's be cool because in the morning you could just, hit it up when it opens up. Go midday afternoon, maybe go again later in the evening if you want. So just
especially why I think it's even better on the Treasure and the Wish is because they have hot tubs. And the other ships, they don't have hot tubs in their room. I don't think they do anyway. I'm pretty sure they don't. But I know for the Treasure and the Wish they do. And so that just excites me even more because I mean, I sleep like a baby if I dip in the hot tub in the evening before bed.
So relaxing.
Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Okay, one of my favorite things about, I feel like I say this about everything, but is just eating next to the view of the ocean. I love seeing the ocean. So I think it's so cool because most places, if you're just going through the buffet and cabanas, you can see, like, there's windows all along, but you can also go, which we usually do, we go outside. For breakfast on the deck. And if we're at port somewhere, or even if we're, out at sea, just sitting there, like, everywhere you look, there is not a bad view. It's just having a meal, especially breakfast, because I love having breakfast with a view, is just the best. And even in some of the restaurants, if you get a good seat by the window and you're just eating next to the ocean and you're just driving, you're sailing away. I love it so much. I think that's so underrated, just the different views that you get while you eat. And then if you're just eating on the deck by the pool, I like to go just right on the edge, right by the window, so I can just eat and, watch the water while I'm watching Funnel Vision, watching Frozen. You just like the best views ever while you eat. I love it.
So we brought this up in our last video, like the 15 must-dos, and that is deck 4, like the walking path. But I think also another thing that's kind of underrated is the shuffleboard. And maybe it's not. Maybe for you it's not. But again, I feel like it doesn't get talked about as much. And there's something about just hanging out on deck 4 because it's always like so chill. There's hardly anyone there for some reason on deck 4. Playing a game of shuffleboard before dinner, maybe after dinner while your food's settling or something like that. I love it. And then watching the sunset on deck 4.
Yeah.
I love it. It's one of our favorite things after dinner. Play shuffleboard. Your dad's going with us this next trip, and he's like already telling Landon that he's like betting money that he's gonna win shuffleboard, and Landon's like, "What?" So, but it's just a fun time, fun family event.
So this next one we honestly talk about so much. So I don't know if you guys talk about this too, but that is just how amazing the room hosts are with the special touches they do in your room.
Yeah.
Every time we come to our room after they've put it down for the evening or cleaned it during the day. It is so immaculate, like so clean. And then to the point where last time they had these little things that they wrapped our cords, like charging
Velcro,
cords.
like Velcro wraps.
Yeah.
Like Velcro cord wraps.
Yeah, and we have a lot of cords. We're charging kids' iPads, our phones, our cameras, and they wrapped them all so they looked all nice and neat.
Yeah, well I walked in the room and I was like, Lacey, did you buy cord wraps? And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the Velcro cord wraps. She's like, no. I'm like, there's Velcro cord wraps on all of our cords.
Who did this? It's like Tinkerbell, like magic fairy keeping it.
Man, Steven, if you're listening, probably not. I hope you are. But man, you were the best room host.
Yes.
Ever.
But and then in the evenings when we did the Wish for our last cruise, the lighting in there was just so dreamy. And the way they just make it just feel so cozy. I just absolutely love the special touches they do in your room.
Amazing. Next up is silent disco. Now, there's been an offering for silent disco on a lot of our cruises, but we've never done it.
Never made the time.
And we're like, whatever. And then we decided just to randomly do it. And, dude, It's gonna be our thing now.
It was so good.
The boys loved it. Our whole family was enjoying it. It was so funny.
Really fun.
I don't know. It was just like we were like, go on my channel, and it was just like Tucker was. I mean, he was getting down on that music. It was so funny.
It was a really fun night. It was our last night too of our cruise. So just like to end the night with that. It was such a fun memory maker.
It's so funny because like listening back to the footage of it is so, because we recorded it, and listening to it is so funny because it's silent.
Yeah.
But we're like jamming out.
Right.
Yeah, it's so good. So if you haven't tried that, it's definitely underrated. You're gonna love it.
Okay, so if you have strollers on the cruise, we understand elevators are a must. But if you can, take the stairs because. I mean, A, you're walking off all that food, but B...
Dude, okay, before we get into that, like, our boys prefer the stairs.
They love the stairs.
And it's so annoying.
They just run.
Because I'm like, we just ate, like, 20 pounds of food, and you want me to run up those stairs? Absolutely not. But they're already up there, so I have to do it.
Right.
Anyway.
But the benefit of taking the stairs is you get to see all the beautiful artwork with every level you go down. So I absolutely love that. And there's so many times because there's, different sets of stairs that I don't realize, I didn't see this one. I didn't see this one. And they're always so unique and so beautiful. I love the artwork so much.
So the last one that we're going to talk about before we get into the ones that you shared, and there was actually a couple of them that we had on our list, but we're going to share yours instead. And we are completely in agreement with, and we're excited to share. But the last one that we're going to share is on your last day for breakfast, you can choose to eat in the dining room, or you can actually eat at cabanas. It really kind of depends on the mood, I would say. If you're just kind of like in that mode where you just kind of want to take your time, maybe the kids aren't really having it, it's super early, I would say go to cabanas because it's way more chill. You can get a table. You can get your food at your pace, and I feel like they're not like pushing you out as fast.
Right.
But when you do the dining room, it's cool because you get to see your waiter staff, all that kind of stuff. But they're so busy because they're having to like turn around for the next guest coming on.
Right.
You're kind of getting pushed out a little bit. I mean, not like bad, but you can kind of feel that. And I don't know. It is underrated for cabanas for breakfast.
Yeah, because we'd always do the, dining rotation restaurant whenever we'd get off the cruise for our last day. But we did do cabanas, and we were like, man, this was really fun. And we forgot, just that was even an option.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, now let's go ahead and share yours.
Okay, I believe it's Ali Lidas said the coffee punch cards.
Oh,
totally forgot about that.
That is brilliant.
So if you didn't know, they do punch cards for Cove Cafe. And
all
of the coffee shops now. Yeah. And so if you buy so many, you can get one free.
See, that's the thing. Like, I think now it's more valuable because when it was just at Cove Cafe, like on the other ships, like the Fantasy and the Dream and all that, it's just at Cove Cafe.
Yeah.
Well, no, there's the other one too in the atrium as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but now there's a lot more coffee shops around,
yes.
So I feel like it's easier to get your punch card. You get like the 10th one free or something like
so.
that. I think we still have punch cards.
I'm sure we do in our lanyards.
I'm pretty sure you can
from past cruises.
You can bring it from past cruises. So if you have some just laying around, you should bring them. There's a lot of you that say room service, room service. And
we love
honestly, like that was on our top 15 of must do's. I feel like it's not underrated for us, but it is underrated for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because people don't utilize it.
Right.
And I love this one. Albert Tinnell said, my wife will say room service, buffalo wings. Oh, yeah. They're good.
I don't think I've ever had those.
Lacey, I've had everything 20 times on that menu.
I'm
honestly a little bit salty. We have about room service as of late. We have a video that talks about like secret menu items on the room service, and a lot of those secret items you can't get anymore. And one of the things you can't get is just pizza.
I know, it's so sad.
Like I'm still very salty with the room service menu. However, they still have Mickey bars, which I guess is off the menu.
Right.
So I'm gonna push the limits, guys, on this next cruise. And I'm going to see what we can and what we cannot.
Let's find out.
For science. We're gonna find out what we can still order on room service.
Okay, Jasmine Smith 42 said sit down breakfast. Sometimes buffet is too crazy and a sit down is pretty chill. Okay.
Yes.
Every time, this is another thing after we get off a cruise, I wish we would have done a sit down breakfast.
Yeah.
Because we've done it before and we loved it. It was so nice.
So nice.
So next cruise,
for longer
let's
cruises.
do it.
I think for longer cruises is really good.
Yeah. So thank you for that reminder. So I love that.
Because we love Cabana, like we were saying, we love Cabanas for the view.
But I just it's so nice to have
or Marceline's Market. But yeah, but one sit down is nice.
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is, in the longer cruises, yes. In the shorter cruises, I'm like, it's hard because we like the views.
Right.
But that is amazing. Yeah, just because you get served.
Yeah.
You
and
know?
I think a lot of people don't know, or they forget like we do.
Well, another thing though is that's underrated is a lot of people actually do a sit down when they first embark on the cruise.
And not go to Cabanas.
Not go to Cabanas or Marceline's Market.
Marceline's Market,
yeah. They just go right there, which I think that's fascinating to me. Like we normally never do. We've never done that. And it's like it would be literally rerouting our tradition. But for science, crazy. I'm down.
We could do it.
We could do it. Ack Vandy85 said coffee on your private veranda at sunrise.
That is.
That's it.
That's
all you need.
My favorite one. I've said that so many times. That one is my favorite. I really love that so much.
There's not it's one of those moments where you're just like, I don't want this moment to leave.
Yeah.
Every time we're doing it, I'm just like, oh man, I just want to be here. I want time to stop.
Yeah.
You know.
And then
we're
like, we probably should get ready and leave.
I know. There's always that moment where you need to start getting ready and go. But it's just like you're in that like sweet pocket where it's like this beautiful moment. Our kids love it to death. And it's always fun for us is because our kids always get up a little bit earlier and they open up the drapes and they're just excited because they know we have a rule that they're not allowed to go out there, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's a whole other video that we can talk about later about how safe we feel in the veranda, because I know a lot of you have talked about that. We're actually coming out with a video that's frequently asked questions. So if you actually have questions on the Disney cruise, like how safe are the verandas, whatever, let us know below, because we're gonna start compiling questions like that and kind of like some FAQs.
Yeah.
But anyway, but it's my favorite because they open it up and then we all go out together and we just wake up like we are literally like this. It's so bright, you know. But we were waking up together and we have the coffee and it's just great.
Kaylee Sauter said, not to do, but I die for the hash browns at Cabanas in the morning for breakfast. We should
that is
because hash browns are my jam.
Yeah.
And I went on Princess Cruise Line, and theirs are a little bit better than Disney, but
it is true.
I still will always get the hash browns.
Yeah.
At Cabanas or Marceline Market.
Wait, did you try
so good.
Did you try them at Marceline's Market this last time?
Oh, of course I did.
And you still think Princess was better?
Yeah, Princess Cruise Line had really good hash
browns. It's funny because
Princess.
we think Disney had better food overall.
Yes.
But there was a few things on Princess where we're just like,
it was good.
Yeah, we're not talking about Princess Cruise Line, but I'm just saying they did a good job.
Right.
Paula Wilson said the scavenger hunt around the Dream of Fantasy. We have never done that.
No, I really want to do that, but we haven't even been on the Dream yet.
We've done all the older ships except the Dream, so that's gonna happen probably next year.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Those look so fun. Yeah. And I know one of them takes you to, it's like a little door. Whose door is it? It's one of the little, the Muppets.
Yeah, right. I can't remember.
But,
who it is.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Let us know below. Someone's screaming right now like, it's this. This one is Libron XQT. I don't know. Churro waffles.
Oh. So
yes.
Good. I just can't do syrup with it because it's too much.
This is what I do. Some of you guys know what I do. Get the churro. The churro Mickey waffles is what they are. If you haven't had them, you have to have them. Like, I would make sure you go to Cabanas or Marceline's Market and be like, hey, what day is churro waffles?
They'll let you know.
Like, this is a serious thing. But I'll get them, and I will slather with butter and put maple syrup over it. It's intense. I mean, it's a challenge. But if you're up for the challenge, it will blow your mind.
Yeah.
It is so good.
I mean, I dip it a little bit in syrup, but it literally is just good plain because it tastes just like a churro.
Oh, man. Those are good.
It's a lot. All right, Julian Johnson 1115 said, walking the halls, looking at all the doors.
Yeah, that's great.
I love that so much. And I think that part of it, that's totally underrated because you can just do that. And there's so many fun decorations, magnets.
Yep.
People have interactive stuff where they'll ask questions on their whiteboards.
It's
so much fun.
Especially when it's a theme cruise, like Very Merry or something like that. It's so cool seeing like all the doors decorated.
Yeah.
For Christmas, and it's just like that was a good idea. It's just fun seeing how creative people are. Tessa Tomp said the vibe, hard to articulate, but it's low key best part. I'm assuming she's saying like the vibe as like the whole ship.
See, I'm taking it as the teen area.
It could be the youth area, but I'm thinking
so let us know.
It's just hard to articulate, but low-key the best part. Like, maybe, I don't know. But I mean, we've done an open house, you know, with the vibe and stuff. But let's just go with you saying, like, just
the vibe,
whole vibe of the ship. Absolutely. It is totally low-key. Because we've been, like we said, we've been on different cruises before. And there's a different vibe for Disney cruise ships.
But if you're actually talking about the teen area, the vibe, that place is legit too. All right, Inky Villa said, learn to draw. It's so much fun, and you might discover that you're better than you thought.
It is a lot of fun.
Honestly, I love that part because we do that in the parks too, at the animation area at DCA, and I love it. And so bringing that in the ship, and you're just like, what are we going to draw today?
Yep.
And when we went on the Wish, they do it on like a whole video. The way they do it there is really cool. That part is so much fun. I honestly cannot do a Disney cruise and not do an animation class. It's like...
You got to.
Got to do it.
You got to. DMH352 says, relax on deck 4. Wood loungers. Those wood loungers are perfect. You will fall asleep. Guaranteed.
And you wouldn't think that because it's like... They don't look that comfortable, but they are. It's deceiving.
A lot of people said deck 4, quiet place. It is hands down my favorite place on the ship. It really is. Especially early morning, go a run around the track. It's fantastic. Except if you go on the Disney Wish, you're going to have to like do some kind of U-turn thing. But the older ships go all the way around, which is fantastic.
The Bucktails said, rope dropping Cove Cafe and watching the sunrise on deck. I love your term, rope dropping it. I've never rope dropped Cove Cafe. What time do they even open, I wonder? That's got to be early.
That's amazing.
They also said, Jack's Diaper Dash. I don't even have kids, but I watch it every time. It's hilarious.
It is so funny.
We missed it on the Wish. I know it was going on in the schedule, but the boys would have loved to watch that. And Landon did it when he was younger. We put him in there, and he ended up standing up.
Well, yeah, he was standing up like
he was just getting to that point. He stood up. He couldn't walk, but he stood up
right next to the finish line. It was so close. Oh my gosh, we didn't even know he could stand. Fun fact, he took his first steps on the Disney cruise.
Yeah, he did.
Which is crazy to think about. That's funny.
Yeah.
Arvan Limmer said, just walking around, exploring the ship. Yes, it's so good. Matthew J. Lewis said, announcing your family when you get on the boat. Disney trivia games. It's so good. It's so good.
That's so special. That is one thing. We're talking about Princess, but I missed like going on the cruise. I was like, I feel like something's missing. They didn't announce us. I'm like, oh, this is not a normal thing. Disney is very exclusive with the announcing of the families. I love it though.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for interacting with us on Instagram. We really appreciate it. And again, let us know below if there's any like questions you have, because we're putting a video together for that. We love you guys. And if you have not subscribed, considering doing that, we do Disney Cruise videos every single Saturday. We also do lifestyle vlogs, travel stuff as well. So subscribe, like this video, comment below, as well as follow us on Instagram. We love you, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.